Hey, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, June 17th, 2019, and I would like to welcome you to the very first ever episode of Missionary Mondays, starring me, Brian Baker with Third Coast Ministries. If you're not already following us, click that subscribe button down below. Keep up with us with everything that's going on with the school, with the teaching, with the projects, and might as well follow us on Instagram and Facebook as well. Third Coast Ministries, all spelled out. No spaces. So with that being said, I'd like to go ahead and get on with the program. Since this is the very first episode ever of Missionary Mondays, I thought it would be a pretty good idea to introduce myself, seeing as there's billions of people around the world that don't know who I am, don't know who the ministry is. But one by one, we're going to get to everybody. So to start off, as I mentioned earlier, my name is Brian Baker. Currently, I am 38 years old, and I am a missionary serving in Matagalpa, Nicaragua. All right, first question. Ministry name, Third Coast Ministries. Why is it called Third Coast Ministries? All right, so let me explain. I am originally from Pasadena, Texas, which is on the southeast side of Houston. And back in the day, people would always talk about West Coast, East Coast, West Coast better, East Coast is better. And the Houston area rappers started referring to our area as the Third Coast. Well, seeing as that's where I'm from, that's why I wanted to call the ministry. So, Third Coast Ministries is from Houston, Texas. All right, next question. What is my background? Well, I don't even know where to start. That's a pretty broad question. So, I guess most people usually want to know, like, did you go to seminary school or anything like that? No, I didn't. It probably would have helped, but but I didn't. I took the long way to get here. So I guess to go back, I attended the University of Texas in Austin, and I graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Advertising with a focus on market research and multicultural marketing. So it's great, man. Hook 'em. And after that, I've had different jobs in different areas. Oh man, I don't even, my resume would be about 20 pages long if I put all the random jobs in there. But most recently, I was working in Houston, Texas for TMK IPSCO and worked in the lab as a lab technician and lead technician for testing prototype connections for oil and gas, and which has nothing to do with what I'm doing now. So if you're not in seminary school or you're not anything like that, don't worry. You know, if there's a calling, you'll figure it. You'll get there eventually. So that's my background. That's where I came from. Interesting, huh? Okay, and the last question for tonight is, how did I get here? The smart aleck answer is I took a plane, but I don't think that's what people want to know. So it would seem random with my background that I just mentioned, and then now I'm a missionary, and we have a ministry and we're doing work here. But it all started in 2017. I came to Rivas, Nicaragua with my church, Sci-Fair Christian Church, and it was through Living Water, and we went to Rivas and we were on a project to drill a water well for a community that had no access to fresh water. And as well as drilling the water well, we taught hygiene and Bible study lessons to the women in the community in the morning. And then in the afternoon, when the kids got out of school, we do the same things with them. So after that trip, man, that trip was exciting. So on a side note, if you ever get a chance to go on a short-term mission trip, like take it, do it. It'll change your life, man. It was a great experience. I'll talk more about this later on in another video where I'll detail, everything that we did and the full, kind of timeline that happened for me coming here to stay here. And but after the first trip, I had it in my heart that I wanted to do more, because in my mind, I'd been working at TMK IPSCO coming up on about 5 years at this point in my life. And when I first started there, I was down at the bottom. Like, if it hadn't been for my boy Eddie, who let me sleep in his garage, I wouldn't have had anywhere to go. So I came all the way up from that, and I was at a point where I was like, you know what? I reached up to here, and I felt like it was my turn to reach down and pull some other people up with me. So that first trip, you know, it took me a little while to kind of figure it out, but then I decided, you know, I want to create a ministry and I want to do something. I don't want to say better, because I mean I had a great life, but I just want to do something more meaningful with my life. So that's kind of the short version of how I got here in Matagalpa, Nicaragua. And as I mentioned, I'll make another video that goes through all of it, because it's amazing when you see all the people and all the moving parts that had to kind of come together, and the way it all fit. Like it's amazing when you look back at that process. So I'm excited to make that video. I don't know when I'll make it, maybe next Missionary Monday, we'll see. So that's about it for right now. Thanks for tuning in to the very first Missionary Mondays with yours truly, Brian Baker. Like I said, click that subscribe button down below. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Third Coast Ministries. Keep up with what we're doing. One of the focuses for the ministry is mission outreach. So I kind of wanted to start working on this to help people that were thinking about entering the mission field. And here, there's people that have been here way longer than I have. So there's a wealth of information here. So I hope to kind of get some input from these folks that are around here as well, and get that to you. So it's something that I thought that I wanted to do, you know, to help other people as well that are interested in serving on a long-term missionary, even short-term missionary field. So Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Third Coast Ministries, no spaces, all spelled out. Thanks for tuning in, and adios.